Hello, I'm John. These are the Aurochs from Stormbringer issue 2, and you're watching War Games, Models and Other Hobbies. Hello and welcome to this video. Now I'm going to be doing a few of these as I get the Stormbringer magazine delivered. It's a great way to show methods of making things in the hobby, painting them, converting them and things like that. But today I thought I'd start with the real basics and putting together these Auroch Gut Rippers that come with issue 2 of Stormbringer. Now, these don't need to be glued together, but if you ever do want to glue them together, I'm going to show you how you can go about doing that without causing too much problem with the fit of the models and things like that. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to the build page of this and have a look at the basic instructions and then start building these. So this is Stormbringer Volume 2. It's a great magazine, this one. It comes with lots of background information. It has the how to build on the things that come with that issue. It's a real good gateway to the hobby. If you don't want to subscribe to it, you can go to the newsagent and buy one every so often if you like the look of what's on there. And I have to say, that's the way I recommend doing the hobby to start with. Just get what you like and enjoy what you're doing. But to start with, let's have a look at the first one. So we've got the Kruleboyz Gut Rippers. For anyone who hasn't made kits like this before, all of the pieces are numbered in the instructions as well as numbered on the sprues themselves, so it helps you identify the parts. Now these ones are designed as beginner models because they're just quick push fit. They're not as easy to convert as other models, but in another video I'll run through a method that you can use to kind of play around with these and convert them and so on. It doesn't mean you can't make your own models out of the pre-designed ones, but we'll have a look at that in another video. So the first thing that I'm going to do is have a look at the parts that I'm going to need for this one. So on here for the main body, I'm looking for parts 48, 49 and 50. So let's have a look at this. So there is part 50, there's 49 and 48 is just up here in the top corner. So I use these little clippers to get items off the sprues. You can use a knife to get them off, but the clippers do give a much cleaner finish. So here are the first 3 parts. What I'm going to do now is go around them and clean them up with my knife, my scalpel. Now you've got to be really careful when you do this that you don't cut yourself, but what I'm doing is just taking off any burr from the section that I clipped off the sprue, and also looking for any major mold lines. These are done really well now, so they don't have as many as the models used to have. So it does make it a lot easier if you're just starting out. Now, really important, we keep that little nub on the bottom there. That slots into the base. As these are push fit, we just want to be able to have as little problem as possible when building them, so we don't want to cut that off. So other than cutting, what you can do with your knife is gently scrape with the blade to tidy that up. So again, a little bit of a rasp there with the blade, and then I'm just going to gently do that. So push fit. This will allow me to, where we've got the pegs there and the holes there, just push that straight in, and on the front we have that push straight in. So straight away now we've got half that model, nice and easy. So I'm going to have a quick look at what the next parts I need are. So I'm looking for 51 and then I'm looking for 52. I've got these parts. The first bit that I'm going to put on is part 51. So that will plug that hole into that peg just there. So that slots in just like that. And then the final part is going to slot straight into there. And there we have it. We'll grab a base and slot it onto the base. There is the first push fit model. Now, as I said, you can glue these together. You'll see that there's a little gap just here that is opening as I push it together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build another one now, but use some glue to glue it together while I build it, just so you can see the differences in the model. Okay, so I'm going to prep these in exactly the same way as I prepped the other one. So use my knife to scrape any of those little bits off, any mold lines or anything like that. Just get the bits that I trimmed off the sprue. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to glue this one rather than just push fit it. So there's a specific order that this one goes together. So the arm, whoops. So the arm slots in to the back just here like that. And then the body will go on. Now, when you're gluing these push fit models, if you're going to put any glue down the little holes, it's really important to trim a small amount off the peg. What that means is the glue has a space to go within there rather than it stopping the model fitting in perfectly. So what I'm going to do, just with my knife, I'm going to trim a little bit off the bottom, not too much, I don't need to worry about doing too much. And looking where this is going to go, I'm going to put some glue in the hole and a little bit of glue around the edge just here. So now I've put that in, I'm going to push it in. Just hold it for a second. You can see how that seam has glued rather than, like in the first one, is open. So looking at the next piece where it's going to join together, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to worry about gluing the peg on this one. I'm just going to run around the edge of where it's going to sit. And I don't need to use too much glue, but I just want to make that bond nice and tight. So again, pushing it in. We've now got that in position. So I'm now going to get the last two parts for this one. They're really nice, easy models, these ones. There's not too many parts. It's a good way to kind of practice the building. So I'm looking for 32 and 33. There's 32. Sorry, 33, and here's 32. And looking ahead, the shield is 34, which is this one just here. So I'm just going to trim this off. So let's tidy these parts up again. So the first thing that's going to go on is 32 that will slide on over there. So what I'm going to do is run a little bit of glue around here, not too much, just where the seam's going to be. Just gently hold for a little bit. And then the head is going to slot in there. So what I'm actually going to do, just put a little bit of glue on this edge here and just around the edge of the hole and on the neck there. And then push that in. And then finally the shield. Let's just clean up the edge of that. And then on this one, just going to run a little bit of glue around the edge of where that hole is. And push it on to, there we go, push it on just like that. I'm not going to worry about sticking it to the base for now. I'm just going to push it into the base. What you'll see by gluing it is I don't have any of those little open gaps, and the model's nice and secure. You don't have to glue them though, so please remember this. This is just a method that you can use if you want to make them more secure. What I'm going to do is go back to this one, and I'm just going to show you how you can fix a few of this without having to take the whole model apart. So, as I look at it, this piece here moves quite a bit, as does this piece there with the arm. So, with my glue, I'm just going to gently move the head to one side a little bit, put the nozzle of the glue in, and run a little bit of glue in, and then just push it and hold it for a little bit. And then likewise with the arm, I'm just going to run a little bit of glue on there, and then just push and hold. So after holding it for a little while, we can see now that it's become a lot firmer. There isn't the gaps in the same way as there was. So I'm now happy to carry on with this model. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make the rest of these aurochs, and I'm going to do it in a batch method, which is something I often do when I'm making multi-part kits like this of lots of similar ones. So I'm going to trim each of the bits off. I'm going to lay them out as each auroch, clean them all up, and then put them together. I am going to glue these together, although they are the push fit, similar to the second one that I did, just so I know that they're going to stay together when I get to the painting process. So let's start building. Okay, so there are all the bits trimmed off, ready for cleaning and gluing. On the sprue, there are a few bits left over, and that was for this character. So the Gut Ripper boss, you can make it as a normal Gut Ripper. So if you've got more than one of these kits, you don't have to have the same boss over and over. There's a few parts that will make it into just a normal Gut Ripper. I keep all these parts because they're great for conversions later on, which we'll look at in another video. But for now, I'm going to carry on with these, clean them up, and put them together. And there we go. 10 Auroch Gut Rippers from Stormbringer. Now, I have glued all of these ones. Like I said earlier on, you don't have to worry about gluing them. I've just done where the edges touch each other, so it'll avoid any filling or anything that I need to do when I start painting them. Now, these are a really great way to get into the hobby. They're nice and easy to make. I'm going to do another video on painting them down the line, but for now, if you want to give it a go, pick up a model kit, start building it. The push fits are really easy. You don't have to glue them like I have. I hope you've enjoyed this video. For now, I'm John, and you've been watching War Games, Models, and Other Hobbies.